All right, let's get started. I wanted to take the time to show you one of our Circle campaigns. Circle is a product of XMPie, and it's really, let me just be honest, it's pretty hard to get figured out. But if you have a marketing mind, you can find the smart people that can connect the dots. So I'm going to start with the program and just how easy it is to go in and create. Even I can create a program. So let's just say I wanted to create a new program and I had talked to my client. The most important thing about this is you have to know ahead of time what you want to do and what the assets are. So you really have to have an in-depth conversation with your client about the solution you're trying to solve. So I won't spend a lot of time on that, but there's a whole conversation around what you need to look for with a client. But it is as easy as going, okay, I want a print piece. I know that I'm going to want that print piece to migrate to the landing page. I'm going to want to follow up with email and text and thank yous. And then, there's some other things that you can add, but you can embed video and all kinds of things in here. I'm going to, send them a booklet, so I want to include that. I recommend including every single phase of your campaign. So that's just how easy it is to build the actual assets of it. And then you can add your call flow or your kind of workflow arrows and things like that, which kind of helps put it into a format that makes it easy to understand. I use this and actually share it with my clients. So you can change the orientation, you can add different actions to it, filters and all sorts of things that help determine how the program works. Because remember, once you set this up, the goal is for this to be automated, for you not to have to do anything but go in and check on it and tweak it. So I'm going to go over, these are the programs that we've created, the marketing campaigns that we've done. This is the one I want to talk to you specifically about. I'm not going to save that one because that one wasn't that great. But I want to talk to you about my Monogram maternity campaign. So in this case, I'm going to talk really fast because there's a lot to talk about. I can't talk about it all in this short video. But one of the problems in just talking with them about their print was they wanted to find a way to reach the women who were going to all these different physicians' offices within their hospital and professional buildings that they don't have access to because of HIPAA. Those physicians' offices are not allowed to give out patient information, as you might understand. So we had to find a way to get Monogram Maternity and their program to and in front of all these women. So when we first started talking in late 2019 about a 2020 launch, we had built all the assets and we were going to use banners and posters and handouts, and we very much needed the help of the nurses and nursing techs and the people working the desk at the physicians' offices. So they were going to be our point of contact and give them a little reward for helping a woman finish this plan, which is their entire 40-week pregnancy plus postpartum. So we engaged those people in the different offices, starting out with just some small offices, but they were going to hand out this cute little brochure we put together, and it had parking passes and coupons and all sorts of things. You can use your imagination as to what we could do, but we created this brochure that was going to be the point of contact. And then we built this program. So we started building this out. We wanted them to get a safe sleep class and an infant feeding class, and then we wanted to do a postpartum follow-up. These were all the things the imperatives that had to happen with these women. Now, I will mention that this program was funded by a grant initially, so we were having to sort of not just share this with our contacts at the hospital, but also with a board and these overseers of the foundation. And so it was very important that this made sense early on. So we really had to think through a lot of things. What we've realized throughout is there's different things that we found, and I'll share those with you later. But one of the things we found is throughout a 40-week pregnancy, 4 touch points is not enough. So we're in the process of adding some right now. So while this is a complete program that's been running now, we're in year 2, we constantly add and tweak and change and make it better based on the feedback of the patients and the clients. So this is what my program looks like. Now I'm going to show you the document that we started out with. Which started out as a print document, but now it's this cute little flip book. Obviously, when you go from a print book with QR codes where they scan it with their phone to a digital book, we've since added links that they click on, because QR codes don't make sense because they're going to be getting this on their phone more than likely. And we're going to change back now that we're back to having appointments. But, it's just, I think it's important to understand, after we've all gone through COVID, that it's important that you have a program that you can do print, you can do virtually, you can do through Zoom, you can do training virtually, in person, and have all different ways, because even now people are responding different ways. So with this cute little book, this is our introduction piece to the program, and it's the theme that we use throughout. So this QR code is very important. Now we also made a video that we filmed as part of this, and another flip book for the sort of concierge catalog that they made available for curbside pickup. That was a mid-COVID change. This tour just takes them through the gift shop since they can't see it, so we did a nice little video so they can see what's available. But this important QR code right here, link in the new case, is what links everything together. You can see that register for moms to be by scanning here. Once you join, you receive a discount card from your healthcare provider that gives you exclusive discounts, blah, blah, blah. Earn points. Here's how they earn points. Very important to tell them, enjoy the benefits for both you and your baby. You can use the points along the way or save them for the total of $125 that they'll use for these sort of things. These are the benefits of the program: educational information, rewards and discounts, exclusive classes, all of these great things that make them want to participate. So they've hit the QR code. They've gone to our first landing page, which looks like this. Obviously, you can see the branding of the program. The program logo is very important. I'm going to register as a mom-to-be. I've had my first appointment. I found out that I am going to be a mom and that I am about 16 weeks pregnant. This is not true, by the way. That is not possible for me at this point, unless I adopt. We've also given them, this is very important, we've given them the control over how we communicate with them throughout the program. Most of our moms, as the program's gone along, communicate via text. I'm going to just say email. Now, although we're asking them, can their phone receive text messages? We're going to ask them that, but because we've integrated with a company called ClickSend to send on our text messages, they take care of all the regulations around that. My doctor is Johnson. This is very important. You can see the red asterisk. They have, at a minimum, have to give us that information. This week's pregnant is what drives when they get the next class schedules and correspondence. I don't know what 9 months from now is, so I'm just going to say I'm due in January of next year. Now that is important because we know when to expect them in for postpartum and when to expect a congratulatory celebration or email. We've also given them the program. This is very important when you're dealing with this. This does not normally happen. My computer's slow. But we've also given them the control over being able to opt out. The healthcare physician, practitioner, the people associated with on our end, anyone can opt a mom out for this program. If something happened, God forbid, we do not want them to continue to get correspondence. So congratulations, you've taken a great step for you and your baby. So they get that. Also, I'll say at the same time, when they register immediately, that fills our database. You'll see here is an Excel spreadsheet that comes up and tells us that, hey, it lets the person at the hospital know, our contact that cares about this marketing know that they've registered, and it also populates immediately to this database with their name, their address, their phone number. Obviously, we don't share this because this is very private information. The hospital's given us permission to have it. Just because we're running the program, it gives us their due date, their doctor, just such beneficial information for the hospital. And it helps really run the rest of this program. So as I said, when they register, it populates here, but what's important to know is each person, once it populates, it gives them what is called a PURL. It's a personalized URL. That personalized URL is what drives everything else, so that the rest of the program, this is a huge document, that the rest of the program is personalized. So when they get an email, they get a text, it has their name on it. That's very important. So they've registered, they get the thank you, but also at the same time, as I said, they're going to get that thank you via text or email based on their requested correspondence. And then the next thing they get is the first reminder for registration for their classes. So they'll get it based on how they told us to communicate with them, they'll get it on email, text, or a postcard. This is what the next class looks like, or the next reminder looks like. It says, "Hey, Alicia, it's time to register for your safe sleep class." Now, what's important to know is while they're registering and back populating to our database that we provide for the client, it's also important that they hit the hospital scheduling system for classes. So we've iframed it. I'm not smart enough to know how to do that, but Derek is. We've iframed it so that when they go out and register through the hospital's registration class, you can see their choices for dates. It puts it on the hospital schedule, but at the same time, it populates our database, and we've got it set up to notify the teacher or trainer or educator or facilitator of that class. So they get the personalized link. That's very important. Keep that in mind. The facilitator of the class gets the personalized URL for that class. That's important because at the end of the class, the facilitator has to go back and note that that person's communicated or completed that class. And by completing the class, that is how they get their points. I will say those points are cumulative, and we are keeping track of those. You'll see the little 25s and little numbers here. That's cumulative and is hitting our spreadsheet so that we know how many points each woman has, these women have earned as they've gone through the class. There's so much I want to tell you about this. I hope it's making sense. I'm going kind of fast for me, not giving you as much details as I would like to. So then they get the same thing happens for infant feeding class. And then once they've had their child, and remember, we know their due date, and we've inserted another touch point since now, or we've got it set to integrate. But the postpartum is a reminder. You'll get a reminder here that says, okay, now it's time to register for your follow-up appointment. That's so important for these moms. Congratulations, you're almost there. It's time to sign up for your postpartum class. Since they know their due date, we're reminding them to call their physician and register over the phone with their physician, make an appointment for the postpartum class. If they know their due dates in October, they can schedule that 6 weeks. Go ahead and schedule that for November. So that's really important. We'll update it. Once again, the facilitator of this program at the hospital, our contact, gets a notification that she's scheduled that and can monitor that from there. So I've gone through this really fast. There's so many other things. I want to just show you. I talked about being able to make this flexible. So this was a postcard we created initially as a reminder if someone wanted to receive notifications by postcard. Probably not many 20 or 30-year-olds that are going to opt for that. So we're going to switch this card, you can see the front and the back of the print card, over to just a note of encouragement. Just another kind of touch point to send. And we're going to send that out after their second class, before their third postpartum visit, just to say, we're thinking of you. Is there anything you need? And we'll include some QR codes for registering for other things that this department does. They do some really awesome, like birth wishes and all kinds of things. It's an opportunity. We also have a packing list we're going to insert and send to them via email. So when it's almost time for them to go to the hospital, we send that. So we've got some other things. I've made some notes of the things we're going to insert. And like I said, that's what's so great about this. We can go back and tweak it and insert all new touch point activities. So the first one is going to be prior to this touch point, because what we found out, and you'll do this as you create your programs, you'll find out, hey, we need more touches. So one of the things that we're going to add is we're going to insert in, before their Safe Sleep class, 1 week after they register, your moms to be sneak peek. So we're going to give them a sneak peek of the concierge booklet that lets them know the kind of things that they can order either now or in the hospital. Everything from breast pumps to little onesies. They can register so that their friends and family can go there and buy presents they've registered for the baby. And then we're going to ask them to start preparing their wish list. And this, as an example, that will go before Safe Sleep. The next thing we're going to insert prior to infant feeding is we're going to say, hey, here's the title of it. We're going to call it the Moms to Be Reward Program Reminder. And then what we're going to do with that is we're going to offer them a free birth wishes booklet. and we're going to offer to mail that to them or email it to them in the same digital form that this is. So we've got some options there, and they've got some options. And then one of the things that I'm reading from my notes, because we have just began designing these, the next asset will follow the infant feeding class right here, and it's going to be a moms to be checking in, and that's the postcard I was talking about. So that'll be a really sweet handwritten note on that cute little postcard design, and then ask them what information would be helpful to them. So we can do that as a postcard. We also have the option to create another landing page and collect the data electronically, but I think getting a note of encouragement in the mail is always nice. And guess what? Because they're a part of this program, we have very successfully captured their most current address, which is great. The last thing will be, how did you enjoy the program? Did it work? What changes would you make? Help us make this better for future moms-to-be. So I know this is long, and I hope it's been helpful and enjoyable. And if you have any questions, you can call AlphaGraphics in Hoover at 205-979-2373, or you can reach out to me on email. It's Cassie@getbusiness@alphagraphics.com. Look forward to talking with you. Hope this was helpful, and good luck with your next campaign.